Hi, good morning everybody. I don't do too many YouTube videos, I probably should do more. But anyway, this one is about getting ready for another trip. So the old cassette ready to get treated. So the bus was recently repainted and it still has to be finished. But we want to use it in between. So anyway, it's a fairly different colour now. So the work to do before you go on a trip. Obviously, first of all, we have been working on the bus, and mainly on the outside, but also doing lots of recabling, still left over from a mess I inherited a few years ago. Slowly getting there though. Now, one thing I am doing also in bits and pieces is redoing the inside a bit. So the switches and fittings there that were in there, I've connected a lot of 12 volt stuff onto that. My water pump switches off my 12 volt DC, some power stations, and also on this side I still need to tidy up that radio. I did start in the bulkhead and that's been redone, and but the inside is a bit of a dog's breakfast at the moment. This was all covered up with some pretty heavy duty planking, so we still want to enjoy the bus, and that's why we're traveling around and put up with how it looks for the time being. But so I've just been working on it, and now we've got to go on the bus trip for a week, and now I've got to tidy it up. Trusty coffee machine. Anyway, my other half has told me that I need to clean it up today, so that's my job today. So in the meantime though, I'm not sure what people have seen, I put in a little cupboard there, so when I spin my chair around, I've got somewhere to put my glass of port, other bits and pieces. We're in the middle of building a bit of a lounge, so that's the dog's bed. Let's get out of there. And we have a fair bit of work to do. I've got some new materials, and I'll get that done soon. I've also built this little cabinet here. Now this is all temporary stuff, if you like. This is all template. Eventually I'm going to redo it with some proper materials. I put this pantry in here because we didn't have one, and put my little spice rack. I love cooking, so got the spice rack there, which is directly opposite my sink and oven. The other thing we're doing is we're experimenting with colours at the moment, because it all came out in, not nice. So I bought some cheap vinyl, stick-on vinyl from Temu, called medium grey, and I just painted the handles black, matte black. So that actually looked quite good. So in the future we may just go to that a cabinet maker and get new doors made up. We're going to replace the sink eventually. We're going to replace that little Coleman oven, which is basically pretty useless. Can't control the temperature in the oven, but the gas burners work well. And we often use the gas burners for heating in the morning when we first get up. So this is a Bushman fridge. Works very well, very happy with it. And they've given me some great support. That little door lock was broken, so they sent me a new one. And the light globe on the inside, I couldn't find it anywhere in the market, but Bushman sent me one. So thank you, Bushman. Some other little things. This door on the pantry that was in the bus, used to open this other way. So it used to open this way, but totally useless in effect, because when you're standing here, you got to open the door this way. You got to open the door this way to get inside. So anyway, I spun the door around, which makes a lot more sense. All right, and I'll put some more shelves in here. All this stuff is eventually going to come off. It's pretty fugly, and I'll make it better. Now, it does have a microwave, which works pretty well, but I'm going to relocate that, and it's going to probably go up above the fridge here eventually. mainly because I need to get to the 240 volt stuff, which is all hidden in the back here. So that's not a really good spot to have it. Temporarily, it looks like it's falling over. It isn't. Temporarily, I put this little shoe rack in here until I come up with a better solution. But I put it at an angle so when we drive along, they don't rattle out. And it works pretty fine. It's done wonders. So we have a shower. As you can see, I'm working on lots of electrical stuff. And I still got all my shit everywhere. So all my tools. And as you can see in the mirror, I'm still in my dressing gown. I think it's about 4 degrees here in where we live in the valley. So anyway, big job today, as in tidy all my stuff up. So she who must be obeyed can get to the sheets and drag them out through the washing machine. Now recently also we bought ourselves a coolsy aircon unit, and it works quite well. We had some pretty hot weather here not long ago. So we've gone from very, very, very hot to very, very, very cold. Interesting. So anyway, this is a 240 volt van. Works okay, but I'm going to replace them with the Scirocco ones. A bit expensive, but they apparently work better. And they work on 12 volt. I always have a query about fire extinguishers. I believe you have to get them checked every 6 months. Not sure that's true. I get mixed information. But the cost of checking them is more than the cost of buying one from Bunnings. So what a waste if you have to buy a new one every time. So we're putting our places of whereabouts here for now, and they're very hard to get, these tourist stickers. No one seems to do them much anymore. So anyway, I've done some work on the steps. It looks a lot better than what it was. I've got some self-activating lights, so that lights up neatly. And what I need to do is put a proper doorstep on it. So at the moment, I've made this object here. It works wonderfully well, but obviously it's got a bit of weight and it's got to carry inside the bus, which takes a bit of room. Alright, I'll just show you that we live in a very, very dusty space, and it doesn't matter what we do, within a few minutes of driving down our road, the bus is a mess. So the awning is missing at the moment. We bought new vinyl. Picked that up in Queensland in December, and now to be back in South Australia. Now the bus has had its first coat of paint. I'm going to put it on eventually, get it back on, but it still needs a clear coat, and we need to do some striping on the bus just to tidy it up nicely. We have a pattern in mind, and we think that'll look wonderful. So anyway, I did have a bit of a problem on the road a little while ago. The little lever where that bolt is, there was a little pull-out elastic floppy thing that you'd lock that door with, and that broke off. So I just got a bolt and a nut and managed to put that on, and that holds the bus together. So that's another thing I need to do before I go away, otherwise I don't have access to it. I used to have a heater in there, but it's now my toolbox. So anyway, hope you like the colour. We sort of do. It was a bit of a surprise, considering it was a paint match, and the paint match was probably 100% out. Anyway, it didn't turn up too bad, and some of the things actually stand out better. One thing I want to replace is these things. I can't clean them, obviously been sprayed over a bit, but they're pretty grotty anyway. but where do you find them? And one question I have, why is there two? I've not yet figured that out. And if I put my shore power into one, does that make this one active? I don't know. Something to work on soon. All right, well, a bit of a journey off getting the bus ready. I've also made up a departure list which sits by the steering area. So when I jump in the seat, I have a quick read through it and make sure that the windows are shut and locked, the fridge is locked, the pantry door and everything else is locked, etc. So that you don't drive down the road and all of a sudden the kettle goes rattling across the floor of the bus. All right, guys. Well, hope you sort of enjoyed that, and I will see you hopefully soon.